Hi there, hello and welcome to #reynism. My name is Rain. I'm a trainer, an event host, and for many years I have been involved in developing and designing training curriculums for different lines of businesses as part of my role as a former training manager. Today on #reynism, we are going to talk about a training related topic, and that is training trends. So if you're from training and you haven't had any formal training on how to conduct virtual classes and you want additional input on how to be successful on them, then this training is definitely for you. A lot of organizations are now investing and converting to virtual training to continuously address the training needs of the business while adhering to social distancing to keep their employees safe. However, many of those in charge in creating and delivering virtual training are new to this form of multimedia platform, and as such, they fall to the trap assuming that virtual training is just simply recreating traditional face-to-face training, and that's not true. So let me just point out to you that these two are not similar. Why? Because virtual classroom removes the body language and other social cues that sometimes we take for granted during face-to-face training. So what it means is that subtle nuances are sometimes overlooked, and we don't have any ways of knowing whether the participants are actually listening, or if they're bored, disengaged, or if they're using their phones while they are attending your session. And that's not good. Today on #reynism, we will be sharing some best practices on how you can deliver an engaging and interactive virtual classroom training, enhancing your participants' learning and retention. Sounds good? Before we jump right to it, let's just learn some important terms. First, what is e-learning? E-learning is learning delivered electronically, and it has different formats. So the first format is what we call synchronous learning. The second format is what we call asynchronous learning. The third format is what we call blended learning. And lastly, we have what we call micro learning. Now, for the sake of this topic, we'll be focusing on synchronous learning. So synchronous learning, for example, is a webinar led by an instructor, and all of the participants has to be online all at the same time. So while doing synchronous training or virtual classroom training, how do we make sure that our participants are engaged and are paying attention to the materials that we are discussing? So as a trainer, planning and facilitating frequent relevant interaction probably is the most simple way and most single important thing that you can do to run a successful virtual classroom training. The rule of thumb, you may want to have these interactions every 3 to 5 minutes to make sure that your participants are engaged on your discussion. Interactions might be with their co-trainer, with the instructor, probably with a workbook, or with the platform itself. You have to be very careful in designing these interactions. You don't add interaction just for the sake of adding one. We have to make sure that these interactions are relevant to the topic. It supports the learning objective as well as the learning attention. As an instructor, before you begin designing your new training material, you want to make sure that you have thoroughly understand and have learned the functionalities of the platform that you will be using for you to deliver a very successful training program. As part of this training content, I will be sharing a video from Shovo from YouTube. It's about Zoom. It's one of the most commonly used app for virtual classroom training, and I'm sure you're gonna love it too. So your first strategy is your visual material. The visual that you will be using in conjunction with your voice will be your main tool to engage your participants, to communicate content to them, and to promote active listening during training. So you have to make sure that your visuals are relevant. In other words, you do not want to overload your participants with too much information on it. Limit the amount of text to help them easily process the information and retain them all at the same time. Another strategy that you can use is inserting games in between your discussion. Remember that games are a great icebreaker, and this will help your discussion become more interactive and become more engaging. You can do crossword puzzle or a scavenger hunt, but you have to be very careful and make sure that it is all content related. You don't want to include any games that is off topic. It has to be content related all the time. Another great strategy for you is to ask your participants to use the chat box while you are moderating a discussion. Exercises is very important to engage participants who needs to stay active during discussion. This allows the participants and the instructor share their thoughts on specific topics. That it also allows the participants to share their opinion, if not for everyone, maybe to the trainer or to the instructor at least. Commonly used to ask open-ended questions and technical assistance. Participants are chatting about content-related ideas. It gives you a perspective whether or not the topic is too difficult or too easy for the participants. More interactive and collaborative activity using chat, you can use it as a brainstorming tool. You can ask your participants to type their answers using chat box, but don't press send until you say so. Strategy that you can use as an instructor is using break rooms. So break room offers an excellent way to increase your class participation. Break room are used the same way that you would during face-to-face training. What you can do as an instructor is you can break the class to complete case studies or complete group exercises to make sure that the groups are sharing thoughts on specific topics that are assigned to them. So each group should be small enough to have everyone share their thoughts, but also diverse enough so that we get different perspective from each member of the group. So breakout activities should be structured and brief. You have to provide a focus exercise or scenario. A leader should be assigned for each group. The leader should start the activity, ensure everyone participate, and lead discussion once you put everyone back to the main room. So you must observe or monitor each break room to make sure that everybody is participating so that you can also provide your feedback after each activity. Another strategy you can use is polling. So you can use survey and poll to get feedback from your participants, and this gives you an idea how your participants felt about the material. Good thing about survey or polling is it could be anonymous, so everybody can feel very comfortable sharing their feedback without them worrying of any repercussions. During virtual training, icons are also available. So encourage your participants to use them throughout the session. So some of the most common icon would be the smileys, right? So if you want your participants to be more engaged, encourage them to use icons. So if they're happy, if they're awed by somebody who just answered the question really well, then they can use the clapping hands. Lastly, another strategy for you is using audio discussion. So every time a participant hears another voice, that's an opportunity to re-engage them to the topic. All right. There you have it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you liked this video. I hope that it has been very informative for you. If you know anyone who would benefit from it, please share my video. So thank you so much. Keep safe and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
What's up guys, over here and welcome to a brand new video on the channel. Now in today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can use Zoom to set up your own lectures and video conferences. I know that a lot of you guys are in the education space, and recently there's been a large transition into online classes, and Zoom is the best platform in my opinion to host online video conferences. Even if you're not a teacher, Zoom is a very robust yet light application where you can set up your own video conferences in minutes. People will be able to join video conferences by clicking on your link, and you'll be able to have options such as sharing your screen, sharing your video camera, as well as enabling the chat. Now if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know down below in the comments, and with that being said, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and go on zoom.us and click on sign up to make your own Zoom account. Once you enter your email, you want to click on sign up. You're going to then go onto your email and click on activate account when you receive your confirmation email, and then your Zoom account should be ready to go once you create your password and enter your name. Now once your account is made, we're going to be doing everything with the app. So what you want to do is go on your account and then go to the top and click on host a meeting. And it doesn't matter which ones you choose because the first time you actually go to host a meeting, you're going to be downloading the Zoom application. So once you go ahead and click on launch a meeting, Zoom will automatically update and download onto your computer. It's a very light application, so it should not take up too much space, and it does not require intense computing power. So as you can see, Zoom has now launched. The camera is on, so you can see me as well. And at the bottom, you're going to find the entire menu. I'm just going to stop the video for now so you guys can focus on the bottom. Now, these are all the different settings you're going to be utilizing. So on the very left side, you have the options to turn on and off your microphone, as well as to turn on and off your video camera. Now, if you want to change your microphone or your camera, you simply click on this arrow, and you can choose which microphone and speaker you want to use. And you also have the option to go into the settings and change the different options you have for the webcam as well as the microphone you're using in terms of the resolution you want, the ratio you want, and all that other good stuff. Now once you have your microphone and your video set up, you can invite people to your meeting. Now there's different ways you can invite people. You can email them, but the best way, in my opinion, to invite people to your meeting is to click on copy URL, and now you have a URL that you can automatically send to people, and if they paste it into their browser, it's going to execute the Zoom launcher and they're going to be joining your meeting right away. Now once you have people invited to your meeting, you can see who's in the conference by clicking on Manage Participants. And so once you click on it, this bar will appear on the right, and you have the option of muting your different listeners as well as renaming them if there's people that have the same name, for example. Now if you are the leader of the conference and you want to speak, you also have the option of muting everybody and unmuting them as they speak. And if you have a running lecture going on, one really useful feature is to go onto more and click on mute participants on entry so that you don't have anyone who's going to be entering the conference with their mic accidentally on, causing any interruptions. If you want to change controls of your different participants, you can also click on this arrow and go to advanced sharing options, where you can choose who can share and who can start sharing when someone else is sharing, and you can change that to only the host if you wanted to. Now you can also access the chat by clicking on chat, and here what you can do is you have the option of once again muting and unmuting everybody, and then you can also send your own messages down below over here by typing things out, and you can choose who you want to send it to, and you can also send any files including PDFs and PowerPoints. Along with chats, you can also add different reactions to other participants if they're speaking, and this won't show up in the chat box but rather show up on the top left of the screen. Now in terms of utilizing your screen, what you can do is you can click on share screen and you can choose which window you want to share, or you also have the option of streaming different files, and then you simply click on share and this file will be sent over to all of the participants. Now if you want to save your lectures, all you have to do is click on record or press Alt-R, and the lecture will start recording, and once you stop it, it will automatically save onto your desktop. And finally, once you're done with your meeting and you want to close it, you can go ahead and click on end meeting, and then you can either leave the meeting if there's other individuals still discussing, or you can end the meeting for all. Now hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and as always, thanks for watching. My name is Iovo, and I'm signing out.